It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new hairstyle, it's a new plant. So we are just gonna jump right into this video. So the other day I was looking for a cafe to go to do some work and to get out of my apartment and to just clear my head and relax outside. But when I was looking for places to go, and this was on a Sunday, I couldn't find anywhere. And it got me thinking that there are quite a number of things that are really unusual about Barbados that I'm never gonna get used to, and I thought this would be good information to share with persons who are coming to the island, who are moving here or visiting here, that you may want to have a heads up on before you come to Barbados. Number one, the first thing I find unusual is that a lot of places aren't open on Sundays. Why? I think it's because of the colonial history and because Barbados is a Christian state. Just like many other British territories across the region, you'll find a lot of places don't tend to open on a Sunday because Sunday is considered church day or sacred day or rest day. And I think if you're coming from a country where that's not the case, like if you're coming from the States or Europe or the UK or anywhere else in the world where things are usually open, places are usually open on a Sunday, like salons, cafes, I don't know, stores, you'll find that very strange. And coming from Belize, I'm used to things not being open on a Sunday, but I thought that because Barbados is largely a tourist destination that most things would stay open on a Sunday. You'll find the only things that are open on a Sunday and 24/7 are gas stations and maybe a pharmacy or two. Not all pharmacies. iMart is definitely open on a Sunday. That's something that's quite unusual if you're moving here and you're new to Caribbean life. Don't expect things everywhere to be open on a Sunday. You'll find bigger restaurants or hotel restaurants, they're open Sundays, but the little local treasures like the cafes or like a salon or a small business, they're not gonna be open on a Sunday. One or two, but not most of them. So another thing that I find unusual is that they use hand signals while driving. And what I mean when I say hand signals is this. So when a car is slowing down, they stick their hand outside the car and literally do that. I'm sure that other countries do it because it can't be just that Barbados is the only country doing it. I'm sure they probably do it in the UK, but because Barbados is a past former British colony, soon to be a republic. But I found that unusual. So because cars have indicators and cars have brake lights. So when you see the brake light, that means the car is stopping. Or when you see someone turn on the indicator, that means they're turning left or they're turning right. When I saw that, I thought, that's really strange. And it's it's not something that I see now and again. Literally everybody does it except me, because it's not a practice that they teach you when you're learning to drive in Belize. But if you see someone stick their hand out a car, it's because they're signaling to you, slow down, I've stopped, or there's a pedestrian crossing in front of me, so somebody's about to cross the street. And I found that unusual. I mean, I don't hate it, it's not annoying to me, I just found it very, very interesting. So the third one is, have you ever used the words yes? Have you ever used the word please? Have you ever used the words yes please? I'm sure you have. A lot of Barbadians tend to use the word yes please as a response. For instance, are you doing okay today?
Yes please.
Is your mom going to be joining us today?
Yes please.
Are there more than 5 persons at your table today?
Yes please.
I think you get the point now. They use it as a typical response to a lot of things. And not all Barbadians do it, I find, but a lot tend to. And it doesn't matter if it's a male or a female, young or old. They will say yes please in response when you're not offering them something. So if somebody says, would you like fries with that? You'd obviously say yes please. I find it this one I find a little strange and a little annoying, so I tend to say yes thank you instead of yes please, because I intentionally don't want to say it, because I think it's such a strange response. Yes please. I don't know. If you're Bayesian, tell me in the comments below if you use yes please when responding to random questions. This is another one that they say, and it's this word. In Barbados, this word is pronounced iron, not iron, like most of the free world. Most English-speaking countries say iron. You iron your clothes, or I have just bought an iron for my apartment, or that piece of metal is called iron. In Barbados, they say iron. I'm just gonna leave that one for you to do with what you will. The last thing that I find very unusual about Barbados, and I think that this is something a lot of people talk about, is as it relates to customer service. I've already decided in my brain not to expect good customer service in Barbados, so it doesn't bother me. I don't get annoyed. Sometimes it's a little frustrating, but for the most part it doesn't frustrate me the way that it does a lot of other people. I just expect it. But the very unusual thing about customer service that's very Bayesian is that whenever you are entering an establishment and there's a customer service element, so if you go to the bank or if you go to a cashier, I always find that 93% of the time I have to address that person first. I have to address the teller first, I have to address the cashier first, which blows my mind. I'm entering your business, I'm entering your establishment. The least you can do is say, hello, how can I help you? Right? I hope that I'm not being crazy for thinking that. But I find it so unusual, and it's something I'm never ever going to get used to, is that a lot of times I have to say, hi, I need, or good afternoon, I need, or whatever time of the day I was interested in. And I think that's just part of the customer service here, but it's something you're gonna have to try to tolerate or try to get used to. I'm never gonna get used to it, because I just think that in a business the customer is priority. I mean, the customer isn't always right. I don't ascribe to that philosophy and that school of thought, but I do think that there's some level of engagement, some level of I don't know, common courtesy that you would address a customer if they're coming to your cashier, if they're coming to your teller, your till, or whatever, to at least say hi or how can I help you. Bear in mind, not all customer service agents or cashiers are like this, but a lot of them you're going to have to address them first before they even acknowledge that you're there. And so yeah, those are the things. There are a couple more, but this video would literally be too long. But those are the main things that I find very unusual about living in Barbados. If you live in Barbados and you're not from here, let me know in the comments if these are things you've noticed as well that you find unusual, other things that you find unusual. If you're Bayesian, let me know if there are things you find unusual about your country in the comments below. But yeah, that's it for me today, and I'll see you in my next one.